Welcome back to another video on Stay Gold Gunga Den. There are some age-old questions that persist in the firearms world. The classic 9mm versus 45 ACP, the AR-15 versus the AK-47. And of course the age-old question, and perhaps the most contentious, the SIG PE57 versus the SIG AMT. Well, maybe not so much in that last one, but this video is going to be sort of a question to the internet. Is there room for someone to answer the questions no one's asking? Because that's what we're going to do today. So as I was recording this video, I realized I was getting into real nitty-gritty detail about these two rifles without really saying that much about what they were to begin with. I'm talking about the PE57, which is the civilian version of the STGW 57 or the Fass 57. That was the infantry rifle for the Swiss military from 1957 to 1990. And then I'm comparing it to this rifle, which is the SIG AMT. AMT stands for American Match Target. And this was marketed as a sporting rifle. The writing was on the wall that non-sporting imports of rifles was not long for this world, as it turns out to get banned in 1989. And this is modeled basically after the SIG 510-4, which is what the Chilean military used. Now, to the autism.
All right, before we take a look at these side by side and compare some of the features, I got a lot of comments on my SIG AMT video about how much it looks like other guns, so I really quickly I'm gonna put them side by side and we'll see just how similar they do look. A lot of people said it looks like the old IMI Galil, and I can sort of see that. And then overwhelmingly, people said that it looks like the FAL, or the FAL at home, or a knockoff of the FAL. I guess you guys can discuss in the comments what you think about each of these comparisons. To start out with, the AMT is in 7.62x51, PE57 is in 7.5x55 Swiss. So starting from the business end, the PE57 retains the barrel profile of the STGW 57 with the ability to launch rifle grenades with a muzzle brake at the end. The earliest imported AMTs had this same barrel profile of the SIG 510-4 that was used by the Chilean military. Apparently they were imported without muzzle devices, and so the importers added the muzzle device after importation. The P57 has a hooded front sight, is folding, adjustable for windage only. On the AMT it's just fixed with these wings. It is adjustable for elevation and windage. On the AMT, the bipod is only in the front, can't move back on the heat shield. The bipod on the P57 has the marks for an inclinometer for the rifle grenades. On one leg it's for boosted and the other one's for non-boosted rifle grenades. And it can also move from this forward position back towards the middle of the heat shield. The P57 can accept the bayonet of the STGW 57. The SIG AMT does not have a bayonet lug. The heat shields on these are both very similar. The hand guards are a very notable difference. On the P57 they're made out of rubber, and on the AMT they are made out of French walnut. They both retain the keg-shaped charging handle of the Schmidt-Rubin series and the K31. The magazine on the AMT is 20 rounds, P57 is 24 rounds. One of my favorite features of this rifle is the winter trigger for use with gloves. It actually adds some leverage to the trigger pull and makes a nice two-stage pull even nicer. Secondary function as the trigger for launching rifle grenades. Some have suggested that that is the primary function, but it is listed in the manual as the winter trigger. They both have a loaded chamber indicator. The P57, adjustable elevation on the rear sight. The rear sight on the AMT is much simpler, despite being a match rifle, and is graduated out to 800 meters. It just slides like a typical FAL rear sight. The safety selector is essentially the same. Safe and fire, safe and M. The pistol grip is a little different. Pistol grip on the AMT has horizontal serrations, and on the P57 they're vertical. And of course, one of the most dramatic differences, the French walnut stock on the AMT. Stunningly beautiful to me. But the rigidity leaves something to be desired compared to the rubber version on the P57.
They both have carry handles. Neither have a shoulder thing that goes up. Comparing the features is all well and good. Cagney thought it'd be a good idea to take them out to 360 yards and see how they did with iron sights. So that's what we're going to show now. So the audio for the shooting might seem a little off. The sound of the bullet impact is going to be delayed from when it hits. The delay is the time that it takes for the sound of the target getting hit to come back, where I am 360 yards away recording. So after all that and going over the details about why the sights are better and the recoil is better on the PE57, the AMT ended up getting the better score. Some of it was I did rush my shots a little bit on the PE57. At one point you can see that I took a shot when the target wasn't even fully facing me. I was just kind of hoping to get lucky as it swung back. So the PE57 versus the AMT, which one's better? I guess you guys can make your own decisions. For me, it's hard to choose. The PE57, I do enjoy shooting a little more. The AMT, though, I think is one of the most beautiful rifles I've ever seen. And it's just amazingly well built. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little drier. I try to make my videos more funny versus just kind of repeating the same information that everyone tends to repeat in the YouTube videos. But I realize that gun guys tend to be a little more on the analytical side and might enjoy information more than comedy sometimes. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay gold. Gun. You made a face. It's recording still.
Uh-huh.
What? Check it out. 47. God damn. Anyway, how they compare. So, Cagney thought it'd be a good idea to take them out to 360 yards and see how they did with iron sights. So that's what we're going to show now. Comparing the features is all well and good, but the real test